how are you crafting new material? I mean,
I try to write. I when I was living in Britain, I went to the Edinburgh Festival every year, and that was sort of like a quarter of my income. So it gave me a good work ethic because I had to do a new hour every year there, and I did that 9 years in a row. And so what I found out was the British comics were producing an hour a year every year. And now I sort of try to produce 2 hours and record 1 hour of it, so I have an hour overlap for when this one's being aired, and then I can go and do the other hour and add on to it. And then when I came over to America, there used to be a setup in this country where everyone was honing their late night show 5 minutes. Everyone was trying to get a tight 5, and they're recording their 5, and they're trying to get the best 5 they can get. Where the feeling in the UK was, oh, how long can you go? And now it's sort of shifted here as those late night shows have become less important to people's careers, that people like Louis C.K. and Bill Burr and Jim Norton, and Whitney Cummings, a whole load of people who bring out a new special every year. And so I feel like if you're not in that batch and you're not writing at least an hour and a half a year, then what the f*** are you doing? What's your point in this business? You might as well just go to the clubs, because people only want to see you. There's so many bitter comics in this industry that have the best 20 you've ever heard, the best 20, the tightest 20, and they play the clubs, and they're always sitting in dressing rooms going, why did I never make it? And it's because no one wants to watch you 3 times. They see you once, they thought it was good, they see you twice, and then they go, oh, well, that's what he always does, or she always does, and then that's the end of that. So repeat, I almost feel like quantity is almost more important than quality, which sounds like a terrible thing to say, but I really think that quantity is the most important thing in the business now. Especially with, you do a joke, it's on the internet, it's recorded by a thing. I feel like this Periscope thing is going to be really hurtful for stand-up comedy, because people will be doing it in the audiences, and all the new material will be burnt before people can put them onto specials. But that's another day and another argument.
well, that's another thing that a lot of comedians would talk about, is that the cell phone and what everybody is recording you.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it has its positive aspects, but there are also people who say it's sort of a chilling thing when it comes to trying out new material.
well, see, when I was saying stuff on YouTube, was always whenever I did a TV spot, someone would take it off the TV. The actual phone stuff, I don't believe helps anybody out. I think it's a grainy picture of you maybe performing a joke that you haven't mastered yet. It takes, in my opinion, 50, 60 times before you get the joke perfect. There was even a couple of jokes that I watched on this that I was like, shit, I think I could have had that better if I let it sit for longer. But I recorded it maybe a bit too soon, you know. And so if you're trying to work a routine and you haven't got it quite right, and someone's recorded it and put it on YouTube, then it already feels like the bit's over. Which, but I don't want to be a guy who's saying it was better in the old days or whatever. You got to move with the technology. So I got to embrace whatever's coming along. You know?